I'm sure everyone knows how important storytelling is. In movies, games, comics, they all have their own storytelling. The purpose? It is to educate, to entertain, and many more. Now, if we take storytelling and environmentalism, then combine it together, the message it would be much more specific. Movies like The Lorax and Wall-E will be the best example for this, highlighting issues such as pollution and overconsumption. Then, how about environmental storytelling from a cultural perspective? In simpler terms, it is an education of environmentalism using culture as medium. This way, one can teach about ecological degradation, which is a complex message in a much more relatable stories. My research is to compare two different movies with two different language and two different culture, which are Tom Moore's Song of the Sea 2014 and Hayao Miyazaki's Ponyo 2008. These two directors have their own distinct way of conveying eco storytelling through folklore, and both successfully simplify environmental messages for children, which are pollution and nature revival. However, there is a limited research on environmental storytelling from a cultural perspective. According to the timeline, narrative elements in scientific writing and their influences on citation frequency, Hillier et al. 2016. As a reflection of cultural values in climate research, Moezi et al. 2017, community-based storytelling and counter-narratives in British Columbia watershed, Gislason et al. 2018. Traditional ecological knowledge and intergenerational storytelling, Diagel et al. 2019. Eco-pedagogy and cultural storytelling among activists, NITA 2020. Climate storytelling in education to promote pro-environmental behavior, Montevalli et al. 2024. However, what does, from cultural perspective, really means? How environmental storytelling in media can preserve cultural heritage by weaving a group's identity, history, and survival wisdom into the visual world itself, not just dialogue or plot, embedding identity, history, and survival knowledge through environmental designs, Nora 1989. It is a significance of culture, which serves as a survival tool or last resort for the marginalized culture. It also prevents from the history being manipulated by colonizers, for example, Pocahontas. Moreover, it also acts as a cultural lifeline to preserve cultural DNA, for example, Maori people from New Zealand. Environmental storytelling uses 7 key strategies to convey ecological messages effectively and are paired together to enhance each other. Number one, narrative technique like mise-en-scène to visualize abstract concepts like a dying tree showing fragility. Number two, emotional engagement fosters empathy. Immersive world with non-human focus, for example, a drop drifting in waves to enhance connection. And number four, cultural legacy simplified for youth. For instance, Moana's voyaging heritage teaching ocean conservation to ensure intergenerational impact. Films like The Lorax represent this by framing industrial greed as a vivid, child-friendly villain, demonstrating storytelling dual role as a cultural preservation and educational tool, translating environmental crisis into urgent, culturally grounded calls to action. By using these environmental storytelling elements together with animation, one can educate young audience and how future animators or researchers can use environmental storytelling to foster awareness. In Ponyo, visual metaphors are used to depict ocean as allies, which makes pollution feel like betrayal later on. In Song of the Sea, on the other hand, it uses oral narrative to tell the story of Selkie, which portrays the ocean as sentient force. These are narrative technique and eco-friendly tools. Moreover, for emotional engagement, Ponyo utilizes the environment to enhance the joy and wonder that follows danger. Song of the Sea utilizes environment to unlock bottled emotion. Immersive world and non-human focus in Ponyo would be from a fish perspective, which Ponyo herself. She is being caught in the net. We could see the fear and anxiety she had in that scene. In Song of the Sea, fairies who are being freed from being petrified are singing, which also signifies ecological revival. Simplification for young audience and cultural legacy. In Ponyo, Shinto goddess is depicted in cute aesthetic and moving. Song of the Sea makes Selkie folklore as a lullaby-like quest. This way, one can still preserve cultural legacy while keeping it interesting and easy to understand for children. Using these two movies as a reference, Malaysian animation can highlight habitat loss and poaching through the eyes of Malayan tiger or even orangutan to visualize their struggle. Or by using the myth of Bujang Senang to explain and educate river conservation, blending oral tradition with modern urgency. With this, it will be a great opportunity to teach the younger generation on ecological degradation. Thank you.